Have you ever seen kittens fighting like tiny furry boxers? Well, get ready for a hilarious showdown that ends with one surprising twist. In a cozy corner of a sun-drenched living room, a litter of playful kittens frolicked with boundless energy. Their soft, fluffy fur glistened in the warm light as they tumbled and rolled across the plush carpet. The air was filled with the sound of their tiny mews and the pitter-patter of their little paws as they chased each other in circles. Suddenly, two of the more rambunctious kittens locked eyes, their tails twitching with excitement. In a flash, they pounced towards each other, engaging in a mock battle that would put professional wrestlers to shame. Their tiny paws batted at each other's faces, while their bodies twisted and turned in a whirlwind of fur and whiskers. The other kittens watched in fascination as their siblings continued their playful brawl. Some even joined in, creating a chaotic pile of squirming, mewing fluff. It was a sight to behold, a miniature feline version of a WWE Royal Rumble, complete with dramatic flips and exaggerated falls. As the kittens' enthusiasm grew, so did the volume of their squeaks and meows. They chased each other around furniture, leaped over obstacles, and used every surface as their personal wrestling ring. The living room had transformed into a kitten battlefield, with no corner left unexplored in their quest for playful dominance. One particularly bold kitten, a little orange tabby with a white-tipped tail, decided to take on the role of the ultimate challenger. He puffed up his fur, making himself look twice his size, and let out what he thought was a ferocious roar. In reality, it sounded more like an adorable squeak, but it was enough to catch the attention of his littermates. The orange tabby's challenge was quickly accepted by a sleek black kitten with bright green eyes. The two circled each other, their tails swishing back and forth like tiny whips. With a synchronized leap, they collided midair, tumbling to the ground in a ball of orange and black fur. Their wrestling match continued with renewed vigor, rolling across the floor and bumping into the other kittens. Soon, the entire litter was involved in an out-kitten rumble. Paws flew, tails whipped, and tiny teeth nipped at ears and tails. It was a whirlwind of playful aggression, each kitten determined to come out on top. As the kittens' play fight reached its crescendo. With fur flying and meows echoing throughout the room, a new sound cut through the chaos. It was a deep, authoritative meow that seemed to resonate with a motherly concern. The source of this commanding call was none other than the kitten's mother, a majestic tabby cat who had been watching the scene unfold from her perch on a nearby windowsill. With graceful steps, the mother cat descended from her vantage point and made her way towards the writhing mass of kittens. Her presence alone was enough to catch their attention, and one by one, the little ones began to disengage from their mock battle. They turned their heads towards their mother, their eyes wide with a mix of excitement and a touch of guilt. The mother cat let out another gentle but firm meow, her tail swishing slowly behind her. It was as if she was saying, "All right, little ones, that's enough roughhousing for now." Her calm demeanor was in stark contrast to the frenzied energy of her kittens just moments before. Responding to their mother's call, the kittens began to settle down. The orange tabby and the black kitten, who had been at the center of the tussle, sheepishly separated and sat up straight, trying to look as innocent as possible. Their fur was ruffled, and they both sported a few tufts sticking out at odd angles, betraying their recent escapade. The mother cat approached her litter, her eyes scanning each kitten to ensure no harm had come from their enthusiastic play. She began to groom the nearest kitten, smoothing down its fur with gentle licks. This action seemed to have a calming effect on the entire group, as the remaining energy from their play fight dissipated into a peaceful atmosphere. One by one, the kittens approached their mother, seeking her attention and comfort. She patiently tended to each one, cleaning their faces and straightening their ruffled coats. The little ones purred contentedly, their earlier rambunctiousness replaced by a desire for maternal affection. As the mother cat continued her grooming session, the kittens began to yawn and stretch. The excitement of their play fight had worn them out, and now the warmth of their mother's presence was lulling them into a drowsy state. They curled up around her, forming a cozy pile of soft fur and gentle purrs. The orange tabby, still feeling a bit mischievous, attempted to swat at his black-furred rival one last time. But a quick glance from his mother was all it took for him to reconsider. Instead, he nestled closer to her, burying his face in her soft fur and letting out a contented sigh. The living room, which had been a battleground of kitten warfare just moments ago, was now a picture of tranquility. The mother cat sat regally in the center, surrounded by her peaceful brood. She continued to groom and nuzzle her kittens, her rhythmic purring a soothing lullaby that filled the air. As the afternoon sun cast long shadows across the room, the kittens drifted off to sleep, their tiny bodies rising and falling with each breath. The mother cat kept a vigilant watch over her slumbering litter, her eyes filled with love and pride for her rambunctious but adorable offspring. The scene was a perfect representation of the cycle of kitten life, from boundless energy and playful fights to the calming influence of a mother's love. It showed that even in the most chaotic moments, the bond between a mother cat and her kittens could bring peace and harmony. As the last kitten succumbed to sleep, the mother cat allowed herself to relax. She curled her tail around her precious babies, creating a protective circle of warmth and security. With one final survey of her peaceful domain, she too closed her eyes, joining her kittens in a well-deserved nap. The living room fell silent, save for the soft snores and occasional twitches of dreaming kittens. The earlier commotion was but a distant memory, replaced by a serene tableau of feline family life. It was a reminder that sometimes all it takes is a mother's gentle call to turn chaos into calm, and a battlefield into a haven of love and comfort.